Welcome everybody. I want to tell you guys about CYB. Before we start, CYB is Cyber Connect, and we talk about hardware and software. We go into computer science and cryptocurrency, anything in computer science basically, because cryptocurrency is in computer science. So we talk about a lot of things. We offer a lot of products and services. So it will be mainly on the site. The website is CYBE or cyberconnect.com, and we'll officially have that later down the road. No release date on that, but we'll eventually have that coming soon. So let's get right into the video, and I will talk about the 9x16 on Adobe Premiere. We talked about this on the Sony Vegas, but I want to show you guys on the Adobe Premiere and how to do that in that software. Let's go. All right, so here I'll be showing you guys a little bit about Voicemeeter. Voicemeeter is a software where you're able to do audio controls on a hardware input and a virtual input, and even having your hardware output. So definitely check out some videos on that on the channel. But let me show you guys the Adobe Premiere. Adobe Premiere is your video editing software, and I do not have a code for you. I do not have a trial for you at all. You will have to figure out how to get that for yourselves. But if you're watching this video, you already have the sense of Adobe Premiere, or you're about to get Adobe Premiere. So I'll show you guys right here. I'm not showing you guys how to download or anything. I'm assuming you already downloaded it. All right, so once you guys go in, let's go ahead and make a new project. Let's just make something, take something. I'll take this. And then the names and all that don't really matter. This is just for testing purposes. I want to show you guys specifically how to change it from 16:9 to 9:16. So let's go ahead and just delete this. And the sequence doesn't really matter. So let's get into the editing part as we load. It depends on your RAM. Inconsistency, yeah. So you might have little pop-ups. Depends if you have the commercial version, which is supported by Adobe, or you have the torrent version. But basically, once you're here, you want to look at your 16:9, you want to change it to 9:16, or you have a 9:16 and you just don't have the right settings. Let's go into the settings first. Let's go to the sequence settings, and that is, let me show you that a little bit better. So you go up to the top, so I'll just slow it down, and you go to sequence at the very top. The top left for me on Windows is pretty much the same on Mac OS, and you want to go down to the sequence settings at the very top. Now you have this, you have your sequence settings. Once you have your sequence settings, you basically just want to change your frame size here. Picture it reversing and flipping, right? So you want to flip your numbers here. So it says 16:9. You now want to change it to a 10:80, since I have a 10:80 in my horizontal. And I want to change this to my 1920, since I had that in my vertical, or I had that in my horizontal, and then my verticals here. So the pixel aspect ratio, I generally want to keep this a square pixel. It depends on what you were recording with. Generally, I would keep it a 1. Some people will want it at a 1.33. So it depends on how you were recording. So the fields don't really matter right now. You can change the field if it's upper field or lower field, and everything else doesn't particularly matter. Let's go ahead and click OK, and then just say yes to this, or OK. It's just undoing your previews, and now you have it at a 9:16, but your film is at a 16:9. The way it changes is to rotate your film. All right, so now let's go to the film here. And I was looking before to each and every V1 and V2. You'll just have to specifically go to each and every piece. Like say if you have now, if I'm cutting this and this, you have to go to each and every one and flip it, right? So that's why you want to now have a established base of settings to your films. So now to this film, all I want to do, if you don't see the effect controls, go to the view or to the window. You want to look for effect controls, and it typically goes to your top left. If it's somewhere else, you just have to find it. Over here in a effect controls, you want to go to rotation, which is right here. And you want to go either 90 or -90. It depends on how you want to picture it. So now we have flipped, or let's say rotate. So we have rotated our film to fit our 9:16 ratio here on Adobe Premiere. Now, there's nothing really else to change. We dealt with the pixel aspect in the settings. Anything else you want to do, you are now editing and making changes in a 9x16. So just remember that you're not in a 16:9 anymore. You're viewing it as a 9x16. Since we have it in 9x16, let's play a little bit of it. Take into account where the mission. And make sure you guys are definitely on top of this screen following me on Instagram, because we're going to be posting this to Instagram, which is typically the way I usually do. And just like the other way wasn't working. And then I have a button here showing my send to media encoder. Now this opens the media encoder and it imports this project into that software. It's another separate standalone project, a part of Adobe, a part of the Adobe Creative Cloud, where we're able to pretty much encode and render out all of our projects. So all of the Premiere projects and After Effects projects that I use the encoder with. So we have it here. We have our settings. The one thing I do to something like this is I generally, and I'll do a raw with you right here. I typically try to match the source, right? So once it matches the source, and I picked the size of the video. It's 2 minutes. It's all right. The times on IGTV and the times on TikTok differ a little bit from the last time I was looking at it. So definitely make sure you guys are understanding the timing and making sure your video doesn't get cut off, so you're not rendering stuff that won't make it. So I usually match in my video, and as I scroll down in my media encoder of Adobe, I don't take this. I don't really care much about the depth. And then I'm going off of my computer. I'm going off of what I have. So understanding your system information is really key as well. I usually do a hardware encoding. I don't do software. The software is using your CPU, and then the hardware is using your GPU. I keep it on main. And then you can tick it off and then change and experiment with different stuff. I usually keep my profile on main. Then I scroll down. Then that's really it. I don't do much else to it. This is interacting with my performance, so my hardware or my software. Let me change that back. And then the more target bitrate, I'm at the bitrate right now, the more memory is going to increase. So it really depends on what you want to do. Let's keep it real low. I want to get to the point with this. I want to show each and every detail as much as I can recently. So let's do it real, not too much, but yeah, let's do it at a 4. I don't touch any of this stuff, events, settings, or the VR, because it's not a VR type of video. Then I usually do the max render quality, right? So I want the rendering quality to be top notch based on my computer's gadgets, my computer components. Everything else I keep as it is, and this is not a see-through green screen type of video, so I don't do the alpha channel. All right, so then we're at 92 MB. Depends on your targets of size, but these are typically the settings that I usually do. Let's press OK. Let me put this to, yeah, let's put it to the D for now, and then testing 9x16. Testing 9x16. The audio, so yeah, let's go to the audio. I keep the audio as it is. I don't really touch it much unless I specifically change something in the settings or in the editing of my video, but I just keep it as is. So let's press OK, and let's press render. So it might flicker, it might get weird, but let's see what happens here. It should be okay. I'm gonna speed through this as we are waiting. Let me pop up the task manager for Windows real quick as we're going. Understand that's using a lot of CPU, it's using a lot of GPU right here from what I was saying. So if I'm using a hardware encoder, if I'm using a lot of GPU, so I'm using a lot of CPU, so we intertwine, go together. And we're nearly done. Remaining. Cool, we are done. All right, so let's take a look at it. Always preview your stuff before you put it on. Let's go to, you put it on any type of video marketing platform, social media platform, testing 9x16. Let's see. Looking spiffy, 9x16. This is how you do it in Adobe Premiere 2023, baby. And then I skim it like this. I see everything that went through. If you want to look at each and every second of your video, go ahead. But I want to make sure it rendered completely, because sometimes your render could be wrong based on your computer and it didn't render completely. Like half your video rendered, 75% of your video rendered. So that's one thing too. So let's go ahead and get a tab open. Let's go to Instagram. Then the video I did with Sony Vegas, that will be attached to this video. Go ahead, we're doing a test. Let's go ahead and create to the computer. It's 2023. The front page, the GUI of everything changes over time, so you just have to find where the buttons are. It should be seeing that I am dropping it here. So now let's go ahead, and it even recognizes. So Instagram does a good job in recognizing and understanding what's going on here, right? We can add stuff, all that stuff. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into it too much. If you guys want me to go into the depths of Instagram as well, definitely let me know in the comments and or YouTube community. Testing for a video. Get your likes in. All right, and then we can just share it. And we want to view this on Instagram. So it takes a little bit while, you know, I'm on the McDonald's Ethernet, you know. I went from McDonald's Wi-Fi to McDonald's Ethernet. So it's hard out here in these streets. Oh, whoa. Oh, whoa. But let's go ahead and watch this video. Yeah. All right. It's looking pretty spiffy. So now we have another assignment to go into. We want to now take away the black bars. So we see black bars on this side. And yeah, that's really it. And then let's go ahead and post this. So here it is. What's up, King and Shui here. I want to show you guys. And there is the video. More videos are coming your way. Definitely keep notifications on. CYBE is growing. Cyber Connect is growing all the time. So with hardware, software, everything, the website's coming out pretty soon, months and months in the future. So yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. Definitely let me know if you have any questions, and peace out. Take care. Boom shakalaka. So we went over every single part of how to change your 16:9 to 9:16. We did it on Instagram. Definitely let me know in the comments and our YouTube community if this helped. Give it a like, a share, and definitely stay tuned to more with notifications on. Take care and peace out.